We look to the stars for alien life, never realizing that the true masters of this world are watching us from the crushing silence of the abyss. I spent weeks mastering every dial and readout on the Tuscany. The personal submarine was a triumph of engineering with a hull of syntactic foam designed to withstand pressures that would liquefy a human body. It was my own Apollo 11 and I was destined for the unexplored depths of Higgins Maw. I began the separation sequence and the diver fell away from the escort ship, dipping beneath the Pacific with grace. Schools of silver fish glinted in the fading sunbeams as I descended into the cold blue. By 4,000 feet the world turned into an absolute ink. My external floodlights cut through the murk, revealing the bizarre biological wonders of the midnight zone. I saw bioluminescent jellies and creatures that looked like nightmare sketches. The pressure outside was immense, but the Tuscany held firm. I was on a mission for a private research firm to map the floor of the maw, which was a trench so deep it made the Mariana look like a shallow grave. As I reached 30,000 feet, the sonar began to malfunction. It showed a solid mass beneath me that was moving in a rhythmic pattern like a slow, heavy breath. I checked the external cameras but saw nothing but the swirling silt of the abyss. Then the temperature inside the cabin began to rise. This was impossible because the water outside was near freezing. I watched the gauge climb as a low-frequency hum vibrated through the floorboards. It was a sound that felt less like machinery and more like a voice speaking in a language made of tectonic shifts. I reached the floor of the maw and triggered the high-intensity flares. The magnesium light flooded the area for a brief moment and my heart stopped. I was not resting on volcanic rock or sand. The Tuscany was perched on a vast translucent surface that stretched for miles. Beneath the surface I could see massive structures that resembled skyscrapers built from bone and coral. There were lights moving inside those towers and I realized I was looking at a city. It was an urban sprawl that had existed long before humanity learned to walk upright. Something noticed me. A massive eye the size of a billboard opened beneath the translucent floor and focused on my tiny craft. The pupil was a vertical slit of deep gold. I felt a mental pressure that nearly shattered my skull as a command echoed in my mind. It told me that the surface was a temporary playground and the depths were the true seat of power. I initiated the emergency ascent, but the Tuscany was caught in a powerful current of bubbles. I broke the surface hundreds of miles from my original coordinates and deployed a distress beacon. The Coast Guard found me drifting in the wreckage of my sub a day later. They told me there had been massive seismic activity in the area and the ocean floor had shifted. I told them everything I saw and gave them the recorded data from the Tuscany. I do not care if they believe me. I will never go back to the sea. We think we are